Forged from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Heavenly Father, we come before you at the start of this new day, giving thanks for life, for health, and the opportunity to serve through this station. We ask for your divine presence to guide us in all we do. Bless this broadcast, that it may be a source of inspiration, joy, and unity to all who tune in. Whether near or far, may our words uplift, our music heal, and our message bring light to those who need it most. We pray for our listeners, wherever they may be. Grant them strength for the day ahead, peace in their hearts, and success in all they put their hands to. Cover those traveling with your protection, and those at home with your comfort and provision. Lord, may everything we do bring honor to you and be a blessing to others. Guide our steps, bless our efforts, and let this station be a vessel of positivity and hope. In your name we pray. Amen.
Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New Era TT Radio. NETT Radio.
Breakfast Show, bringing you the energy, music, and vibes to start your day right.
Yeah, we want to make sure we start your day not just right, we want to start it excellent. I think that is exactly what we're going to be doing for you on this Throwback Thursday. All you island girls and boys, yeah, feel the heartbeat, feel the music, feel the vibes coming at you this morning. Good morning, Trinidad. Good morning to Tobago. How are you people doing? Neighbors in the Caribbean, good day to your friends who are streaming all around the globe. Yeah, it's so good to be in your company this morning. I want to give God thanks and praises as always for bringing us together for another day. And everything that we do there, God, let it be a blessing on to you. Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Sir Charles, that is me. Happy am I to be in this space with you. As we welcome you to your Get Up and Go. This is your breakfast show.
Get up, it's the time to start the day. The breakfast show is here. We bring in the soca way. Yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The breakfast show got the vibes turned on. From Maracas Bay to the Savannah line. Let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Good vibes rolling through the air. The breakfast show, energy everywhere. We talk, we laugh, we make you think. Grab your doubles or your morning drink.
Okay, so we are here. Good morning, everybody. And of course, thank you so much for showing up, for being here with us on NETT Radio, New Era TT Radio, the heartbeat of the Caribbean. We take you above and beyond. I forgot to say that a little while ago. But thank you so much for being here. And of course, thanks much to my co-host, Wendell, who is here very early. He shows up all the time. And of course, Richard, who I'm sure will show up at some point in time. So, morning, Wendell.
Morning, Sir Charles. Good morning, Richard. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. And good morning, listeners and viewers all over the globe. What a last 24 hours. I don't know what to make of it.
Life happens, man.
Sometimes I feel you're in the best position, where you're busy whole day attending to this radio station and doing all. I feel you in a better position than we who have the time to read and catch up with all the craziness that's happening in this place.
I can imagine. Yeah, but you're right. A lot of things are happening, and sometimes when time we leave, time I get through with other things, and then I set to check like news, evening time, night time. I was like, what? All this? Nah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Richard, morning.
Good morning, guys. Good morning to our listeners and viewers in whatever time zone on this Thursday morning in Trinidad and Tobago. And good morning to Wendell and St. Charles. Of course, we know you have a choice and we're glad you chose us.
Yes, we are.
And the weekend begins tonight at the second half of midnight. So, should put you in a good mood on this Thursday morning.
I was telling Sir Charles, Richard, earlier on, that we need to get a guest and we could try it for tomorrow. I'm thinking tomorrow is Thursday. You say no, tomorrow is Friday. I said, my God, already?
Yep.
What is going on? Where is the time going? But there are lots to talk about. So many things happened between yesterday and today. So I'm gonna just highlight a few that we could discuss after we get into good news and greeting the people. One is that murder, that killing of that husband in San Fernando, Smart Gardens, I think, Vista Bella, where of course there were initial reports about a shooting by a close relative. That normally means a spouse, right? But it was reported on the news last night that he had accused her of infidelity, and then it got into an altercation, physical fight. He pulled out his a firearm, started to shoot at her. She picked up another firearm and shot him dead. That's what the news reported last night, people.
Wow. There are 2 police officers?
No, he's a businessman and she's the wife of the businessman.
Oh.
That's the businessman with Steve Garney Jr.
Uh-huh.
That's that murder.
Oh, that one. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So that's how the news reported that story. And then curiously, there was a story running alongside that Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander said that, well, he said that he regret to hear about his friend who he had just visited a few days before. I find that curious. Right?
Why you find that curious, right?
I can't say it on here, but I found it curious. Why he would have said he visited the man a few days earlier. And then...
But that could be, so many things because...
it could be many things.
Because of the problems.
What I have in my head, I can't say it on here. Because
I know you can't. I know that, but...
Yeah, you're right. It could be many things. But what I have in my head...
It could just be a friend visiting a friend. So I don't see why it has to go anywhere beyond that.
Yeah, that's what I said. All you missing, man?
No, but I did. If he said he visited him a few days before, I would just accept it for what it was.
Right. So we have to accept it for what it is.
Yeah.
But my mind works different. And my mind ain't working much different to your mind, you know. And to Charles' mind and other people's mind, you know. Except my mind does come out in words sometimes. Right? So I will say what I think to both of you all off here.
Yeah, well.
Right?
But for me personally, I take it for what it is, you know, friend visiting a friend. Somebody checking up on somebody, pass across by Rumbox. Hey, Wendell, how you doing? You know?
Yeah. Okay. So that's one story. Of course, there was a tragedy in Tobago where the person on a jet ski ran into a family and killed a young girl. A young girl died as a result of it. And he is fled. They can't find him. You understand? The person on the jet ski. Based on the news that I'm reading this morning, he is there asking him to turn himself in. Now, I guess everybody know who on jet skis in Tobago, who would have rented a jet ski or who uses a jet ski who would have been using a jet ski at that point in time. So I would hope that mystery is solved. You understand? It could have been just an accident, but still, why are you running? Why are you hiding? So that was a tragic story yesterday.
It was.
It was. And when I saw it, I thought about Richard. And Richard, saying, why do families do these interviews? And that man was in pain doing that interview, that uncle. And I was wondering, I listened to the questions that the reporter asking him, and I saying, no, man. Anyway, so condolences to that family. Of course.
Yeah, that was a very tragic story. Very sad. Very sad. Yeah.
Then there was another story of a murder of a businesswoman in Europe who apparently somebody advertised a car for sale and then they went by her and she came outside and she was shot and killed. Clearly the story missing parts. You understand? Because, it had to be, it came across like a hit. You understand? And I don't know if they used that ruse to do that. But condolences to that family too. And then story number 3. Number 4 is the revelation from former Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, which we'll play for you, that that's four stories, there's 5. The 4th one is really the revelation from the president of Guyana that he supports the appointment of Secretary General Barnett. And he said it was in keeping with proper procedure. He said it was no different from the first time she was appointed, the second time, and he supports her. So that was 4. And 5th one is the revelation from the former Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines that Trinidad and Tobago was invited. And that the Minister of Foreign Affairs, because Mrs. Prasad Bissessa had already left, but the Minister of Foreign Affairs was invited, and he said he gets seasickness, and so he couldn't board the boat to get across to the island where the conference took place. So that's 5 stories, 5 major stories in 24 hours.
And there's a 6th, but you missed out the 6th one, man.
No, you missed out the 5th one. You didn't give the 5th one.
Oh, the one with the delegation, which is, but that one is going to form part, hopefully part of our poll today. The delegation that is to go to Venezuela to get our just share of oil and gas. Our just share. You couldn't make this up.
God. I tell you, social media does not miss whatever adjective that you use. It circulates forever.
Oh, Jesus.
When I saw that interview and she said just share, I was like, just share? But why is she saying just share? As if it's something that we are owed and we are demanding of. Wrong language. And
Definitely wrong language.
In the same sentence as diplomatic. So because you're saying a diplomatic mission is heading to Venezuela to secure our just share.
Yeah.
The words don't make sense with all due respect because diplomacy and saying just share just didn't mix.
Yeah, like it's ours.
Yes, like it's a demand.
Yeah.
And diplomacy is never about demanding, it's about negotiation and respectful negotiation. And so I found that strange, and I must admit I laughed. I was like, "What? You're saying a diplomatic mission, and then you're saying a just share?" And then in my mind, I said, "Anyway, probably nobody will notice that."
No, I picked it up one time, Richard. We will pick up things like that.
I say, wow, language. Same thing we talked about yesterday. With leadership comes a duty to how you speak. And sometimes, I don't know what's going on with leaders in 2026, but it matters. It matters, and it comes home to roost. And we already have difficult relations with Venezuela under this current administration, to the point that you are infamously now accredited as a persona non grata. Yes. So by the Venezuelan Legislative Assembly, no less than. So we know for sure you are not on a diplomatic mission because they have not.
She's going to lead it.
Yeah, she can't because she's persona non grata until that is reversed by the Venezuelan Legislative Assembly. I mean, that's just what it is.
Yes.
Because of the exchange of words and the heated tempers at that time. Okay, things have cooled down because of, what would have happened in Maduro having been, escorted off the country by the United States. But if you're attempting to re-engage from a diplomatic point of view, which we always knew we have to do because we have a vested interest in seeing that that dragon gas development is to the benefit of Trinidad and Tobago and to a sense for Venezuela too.
Yes.
So that diplomatic mission had to come at some point. But how do you repair all of that when the exchange was actually between you and the current president? It's difficult waters. I assume they have real senior top of the line diplomats on that mission. You need people who understand it and who are career diplomats to navigate those waters.
But the energy minister is on record to us as calling Venezuela certain names. You understand? So who's going on that diplomatic mission? Sean Sobers.
Still, with all due respect, is not a persona non grata.
No, he's not. But
so he could probably go. But what I'm saying, to me, you need real seasoned career diplomats to navigate those waters because those waters are not normal.
All right, I'm not going to say that. Because the person who's supposed to be there is no longer in that ministry. I know that for a fact. She is no longer there. right? But she would have been the ideal person going on a mission like that. You understand? Again,
But you have correct diplomats, and I assume the resource base of our correct diplomats is robust enough that there are people who can handle that. Because we're not now in terms of our diplomacy and our diplomatic resource, human resource. I assume there'll be people who can handle it. But they would need to be at the forefront in terms of dealing with the diplomats on that side.
Mm-hmm.
And you know...
Well, Dr. Munilal, outside of his words describing the Venezuelan government back then, could do it, you know. But he and all needs to recognize, hey, let me do this in the interest of Trinidad and Tobago, you know, and forget all what I have. Well, I don't know if you could forget what you say, but you know, they had to do something, you know. So let's hope that they put together a proper mission, as you said, and we get the benefits, we reap the benefits from it.
Yeah.
Because as Dr. Rowley had said just before he departed office, if we don't get this, we cook. Those are the words he used, right? You cook, right?
I can't remember.
Yeah,
Yes, he did.
I think that's what it said. No, Scorpion Pepper, no! Not at all. He definitely can't go. Behave yourself. I know you're being mischievous. Anyway, so Charles, good news before we could go on and on and on.
Okay.
So,
in the middle of chaos, sometimes the most powerful thing you can offer is a warm meal. Around the world, when disaster strikes, one organization shows up with a simple mission: feed people. Led by Chef Jose Andres, World Central Kitchen has become a lifeline in some of the toughest places on Earth. Instead of waiting weeks for systems to mobilize, their teams move quickly, setting up kitchens within hours. In recent crises, volunteers and local cooks have prepared thousands of fresh meals daily. Not packaged rations, real food that reminds people of home. For families who've lost everything, a hot meal becomes something deeper: comfort, dignity, and hope. Even more powerful is how the organization works, partnering with local chefs and communities. While they feed people, they're also creating jobs, supporting small businesses, and helping communities stand back on their feet. In moments where the world can feel divided, this kind of action cuts through the noise. No politics, no borders, just people helping people. Because sometimes hope doesn't arrive as a grand speech or a big headline. Sometimes it arrives on a plate. And that simple act, sharing food in a moment of need, reminds us all of something important. Even in the darkest times, humanity still shows up. And that is your good news. Follow the channel for more great content.
all right. We could go straight into the chat now. A lot of greetings this morning and a lot of chat taking place. Oh, there was also another story too coming out of Barbados in how the Barbadian government greeting their athletes. The Barbados Prime Minister herself greeted the Bajan team at the Prime Minister's residence. She hosted them, and the president of the country broke protocol and came to the Prime Minister's residence to greet the Barbados delegation, who she said made them proud. She also pledged $1 million to the Barbados, to the federation, the athletic federation, to assist them in hygiene and nutrition and so on. I thought that was brilliant. So I shared it. 4 minutes later, I get a friend request from Prime Minister Barbados on Facebook. I don't know if it's I'm sure it's somebody controlling her page. But that friend request came 4 minutes after I shared that thing. We could learn a lot from that. Because I don't know that we have pledged anything to these young people in terms of how we assisting them moving forward. All we do is post a picture with it. Robert Allen, good morning. Valerie Mendoza, Apollonus, Eunice Dublin, Odell Guy, Margaret Thomas, all of them saying good morning. Erica Charles, Norris Ferguson, manager, Marcia Rock out there in Orlando, Ava Smith, Manuela Peters, Pamela O'Connor, Diane also says good morning. So does Marlon Motley from North Balsane. Michael Cadet, Boy Bidesi from DB, Sherwin and Juliet Kerr, Kathy Ann Charles, and of course Arlene in Bronxville, Texas. Robert Taylor in Fernandina Beach, Robert and Arlene Taylor. Carol Guevara, Hilary Zan, Kenny in Harlem, The Slimy Show. You'll sign on early, no? Not earlier than normal, Slimy. Debbie Modest also says good morning. Merle McComey.
You've called Kenny in Harlem, you didn't say him.
Yeah, I greeted him earlier on. He sent his greeting. Merle McComey, Yvette Scipio, Trinidad Margot, Carla Hercules, Wayne Ramsey, Dave Gosine, Slick Money Grip, Gavin Frank, Prabha Ramdial. Where did this pop-up come from? Cheryl Mirage, Julia Samantha, let me show his commenting. Carlisle Cupid also says good morning. Helen Prescott, David McCarthy, top of the day. Alistair Hart. That's a foolish thing people were spreading slightly. You want to all feel for that? Carlisle Cupid said, first find out about long-standing rumors in San Fernando against the Ghanis before expressing an opinion. I'm not publicly expressing my opinion. I won't do it. I don't know the family. Valerie Mendoza, just like Donald Trump demanding the U.S. just share oil from Venezuela. But he said he might also volunteer to be the president. Did you see that? Carol Guevara, yes, Fanali did say that the process was normal. Jennifer, my apologies. I've been identifying you as someone else on this chat because that person also went by that name. But you're not that Jennifer. So good morning and thanks for joining the breakfast show, right? Sean Soka feels so they think this country desperately needs for survival turns into something else. Nobody cares how she says it. You may not care.
Are you doing the good morning greetings or are you reading comments?
Well, because the comments come in between greetings.
No, skip ahead and read and go straight to the good morning comments because I have to transfer and you're taking a little too long.
Okay, what I mean?
Did you get that buff? Did you get it? Did it translate?
No, but he didn't say good morning. He just went straight into our comment.
Did it translate? Obviously didn't.
Keep moving, keep moving.
Margarita. Well, Sean, stop typing us at a stupidness for us, right? Scorpion Pepper, good morning. Andre Reno also says good morning. Claire Lendor Rollins. Sankofa also says good morning. David McCarthy. You see, the rechatters the start. Felix Cazo didn't say good morning, but he made a mention about the Venezuela situation. Mrs. R says good morning, and she didn't put welcome, good morning to my breath of fresh air, but I accept it.
Good morning, Mrs.
R. All right, so a lot of chat on the... You see, we talked so much this morning in terms of the topics. People are also chatting on it too. Diana Hamill, good morning. Trini Merle Kitchen, Michael Eastman. And that's it.
All right.
And Rena Boudou Jennings.
Rena Boudou Jennings. Good morning, Rena. So let's see. On the WhatsApp, we had Kent coming in first on the WhatsApp this morning. Good morning to you, Kent. Colin and Kelly out of Carenage. You were here very early. Peter Wilson, good morning to you. Archbishop Ashton Clark. Frank out there in Aruka. CJ out there in New York. Captain Ron in Orlando. Good day to you. Thina and the folks out there in Smart City, Arima. Mr. Billy, Powder Magazine people. Miss St. Augustine, welcome. Ron DeSantis, good day to you, Virginia. Judith in Tobago. Judith, I missed you a couple of days. And also to Mr. Beeps. Let me also say good morning to the folks on Gaia Caribbean TV who are joining us in between here also. And wherever you're coming in from, we are happy to be here with you. So we are going for that break, and we want you to stick around because when we come back, we got so much more. On the other side of that, we have Did You Know? We have the morning poll coming up. We have news at 7 o'clock coming up. And right now in Trinidad and Tobago, the time is now 28 minutes before 7 o'clock.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Are you taking care of your sexual health and overall well-being? At Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, we believe your confidence, wellness, and intimacy matter. Visit us at our convenient locations: 10 Carmody Street, St. Augustine, Edinburgh, Chaguanas, Shops of Day Bay, 95 Circular Road, Vista Bella, Docks Ranch Light Pole 51, SS Aaron Road, Penal, and Metro Hotel, Suite 1, Number 2 Noel Street North, Cuba. From relaxing massage services to professional guidance on sexual wellness, we're here to support you every step of the way. Consult with renowned sexologist Dr. Raj Ramnanan for expert advice tailored to your needs. Take the first step toward a healthier, more confident you. Call 285-9739 or 645-4543 to book your appointment today. Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, where wellness meets confidence.
End times is here. Are you prepared? Check us on New Era TT Radio or NETT Radio with Brother Raka and Brother Yatazakawa on Mondays from 7 to 8 p.m. End times is here. Stay tuned.
Scandal in San Fernando, you asked, then we listen. Scandal in Citrus is coming back to South at Zappa. 2 nights only. Saturday the 11th of April at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday the 12th at 6:30 p.m. Tickets available at K Squared Fashions, at C3 Center and Brentwood Mall in Chaguanas, and at Fens by the Roundabout in Marabella. Box office at Zappa opens from Tuesday 7th April, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. Scandal in Citrus is back, and we're at Zappa, San Fernando. It's a bacchanal.
Scandal in Cedrus.
One night, one stage, a legacy you have to witness. On Friday, April 10th, the UE Department of Creative and Festival Arts invite you to the gala opening night of Han in the Air, an evening where culture, performance, and legacy come together on one stage. Start your evening at 5:30 p.m. with Drums of Honor for Roll and Louis, a powerful tribute to Roll Gibbons, founding head of DCFA, and Louis McWilliams, internationally acclaimed director, former head and theatre arts coordinator. Then at 7 p.m, the energy explodes on stage with a bold Caribbean production full of mass, movement, music, and pure vibes. This is part of DCFA's 40th anniversary celebration, so this is not the night to miss. Gala tickets are just $200 for adults, $150 for alumni, and $100 for students. Call 662-2002, extension 85455. WhatsApp 272-3232. Visit the DCFA office, Cheeseman Avenue, St. Augustine, or the UE St. Augustine on social media for more info. Don't just hear about it, be there.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
All right, I guess we could get straight into the newspaper headlines. Today, of course, is April 9th. I didn't even do birthday greetings. Happy birthday to those celebrating birthdays today.
The day start, you get off of the block so quickly this morning.
Listeners, story after story after story in 24 hours. It's amazing. Just share of oil, gas for TNT. That's one of the stories trending in today's Express Online. Businessman killed in home shootout. We spoke about that. Numbers matter, and that's the swimming. Of course, Trinidad and Tobago also did well at the Carifta swim competition in Martinique, bringing back, I think, 55 medals. York hits back at broken promises, and that's former football coach Dwight York. That's also a story trending. In other major news, of course, police hunt jet ski operator after child killed. 7-year-old girl killed in jet ski tragedy at Pigeon Point. Miami woman killed in hit targeting Trinidadian businessman. Businessman shot dead in San Fernando. Woman in custody. Businesswoman gunned down in Cuba. All those stories we spoke about this morning, and all those things happened within the last 24 hours. So that's today's Express Online.
All right, so let me do the Guardian. Richard is off the platform for a little bit. So in the Guardian this morning, one of the stories, which is a pleasing picture, Buku Goat and Crab Race Festival thrills visitors. I don't know if you've ever been for the Goat and Crab Race, but a lot of people really did show up for it. That jet ski thing, jet ski horror, girl 7 dies after collision in Pigeon Point. Manhunt on for the operator. And in spite of all the news, Wendell, that story really got me sad. I mean, I felt real sad when I read that story. Don't throw fets while owing millions. Amin tells corporation. PM announces energy mission to Venezuela. Team will hold talks to ensure TNT gets just share of cross-border resources. And then there's that story, Dr. Gonzalez. Sober skip retreat due to seasickness. Gonzalez says regional leaders voice their position on Camrao. I'll get into that. And IR expert warns TNT against escalating CARICOM tensions. And lots of other stories there in the Guardian and of course the Express as well. So go check it out. Yeah.
Plenty to talk about.
All right, well, let me let's. I mean, we have so many things to do. I think I should do our "Did you know" segment, and then we'll get into the other things.
Because we could spend the whole day just showing clips,
Yes, and I know going to do the Terrell's clip here, but I said, let me do "Did you know?" Let's get "Did you know" out of the way. But did you know?
I want you to take a look at this video. This video is an example of why you need to stop, slow down, and pay attention. This guy was in an elevator and he was in a rush. As soon as the doors opened, he stepped out and the elevator took off. In any situation, when you're going from one area to another, take a few seconds and make sure the area is safe. Whether it's going from an elevator to the hallway, getting out of your car into a parking lot, going into a shopping mall, take a few seconds, slow down, assess the situation. Look around, check your instincts. Be well, be safe.
Yeah, take a little moment to pause when you're doing things. That's a very important. Did you know there?
Sound advice, and people should take a little moment to pause before they type too.
Before they what?
Before they type. their comments on the chat.
Oh, no, no. People really need to do that.
Yeah, and I'm saying that well, look back and see what you type, and know that you type something inappropriate. Right? I won't call the name of the person, but look back and see what you type earlier on when we were doing greetings, and know that you shouldn't be typing that. Not on our chat. Right?
Yeah. Well, I try and keep the chat. We've been having a pretty decent run. But of course, every now and then somebody goes left field. So try and stay within the thing. At the end of the day, remember, it's a public chat, and people all over the place can see it. So please, be respectful to others and have a little tolerance.
Yeah.
I know some of you all feel that you could say and do anything, but you can't do and say anything, right?
Yeah. Regardless of what you think about the politics and the politicians, about the Prime Minister, have a little respect. That's all I should say. Have respect. Not a little. Have respect. I'll leave it right there. Right? All right. So let's show that video now. But let's get that out of the way, because we're polling the Venezuela situation, the delegation of Venezuela. But this video is instructive based on our poll earlier on, and of course our discussions yesterday.
A bombshell claim from former Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, who alleges this country's Foreign Affairs Minister Sean Sobers declined the invitation to Nevis due to seasickness.
Now, his claim contradicts the minister's assertion that Trinidad and Tobago was intentionally barred from the retreat and excluded from the CARICOM Secretary General election.
Gonsalves made the revelation on a radio station in his home country, citing sources with knowledge of the conference and TNT's conduct.
Dr. Ralph Gonsalves would not have been present at the last CARICOM meeting, but the former St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister says he still has his contacts on the ground. Sources which are 100% reliable. And while Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Minister Sean Sobers claims that he was deliberately disinvited from the retreat in Nevis, where Dr. Carla Barnett was reappointed as CARICOM Secretary General.
When we say omission by the government of Trinidad and Tobago,
Dr. Gonsalves says he has it on good authority that it was Minister Sobers who turned down the invitation to the retreat.
From more than one reliable source, I was informed that Kamala said that she was not going to Nevis. She's sending Sobers, her foreign minister. And Sobers said that he can't go to Nevis because he does get seasick. And you have to take a boat. The 5 minutes between St. Kitts and Nevis.
Therefore, he says it was Minister Sobers who absented himself.
If you absent yourself, the Prime Minister says she ain't coming. The Minister says he does get seasick. Well, send somebody else.
Dr. Gonsalves says, according to the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas, the process to reappoint Dr. Barnett was totally by the book. Citing Article 28, he says, conference decisions must be approved by all members and are binding, but abstentions do not invalidate decisions once 3/4 of members vote in favor. Members who abstain or do not vote are counted as abstentions. Now, the former Prime Minister also says while Trinidad and Tobago contributes the most money to CARICOM's budget, it also benefits the most. So if this country decides to pull out,
they will not get preferential access to the market. They'll have to pay the additional duties which are put on, which is 15%.
Dr. Gonsalves was also very critical of Prasad Bissasa's conduct at CARICOM, calling her opening speech,
"It is a bad speech. Bad speech in many, many material particulars."
And also claimed that Prasad Bissasa only attended one meeting during the conference.
It's the one with CARICOM and Rubio had a meeting. And she didn't grace any other meetings.
His advice to Kamala Prasad Bissasa is to let this one go.
This is not an issue on which it should be. It should be a defining issue between you and CARICOM.
Efforts to get a response from Minister Sobers have so far been unsuccessful.
All right. So that report came courtesy of who? CNC3?
CNC3. That's courtesy CNC3. Okay. All right. Thank you, CNC3, Akash, and I'm not sure. I don't remember the young lady's name. But that, of course, came on the heels of the president of Guyana saying, and I quote, that President Dr. Irfan Ali has expressed strong support for the reappointment of Dr. Carla Barnett. Speaking on the sidelines of a welcome home and medal presentation yesterday, I was there when the Secretary General was appointed the first time, and we did not follow any process that is different from the first time. He added the matter was discussed in caucus, views were exchanged, and the decision was taken. The president underscored the importance of steady leadership within the regional body, signaling Guyana's full endorsement of Dr. Barnett's continued tenure at the helm of CARICOM. Hopefully, that puts to rest Trinidad and Tobago's position. Because I suspect, I can't prove this, I suspect that the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar, may not have known that Sean Sobers didn't take the boat because he gets seasickness and didn't go across to the island where that vote took place. I suspect she didn't know.
That is providing that is true. That is providing that is true. Because I think what...
You want to ask that, Sir Charles? Do you believe that do you believe
I don't know what one we have already. Alright. Of course, you know the people that we have in the chat where that will go. The
people on this chat know they vote they vote the conscience sometimes, Sir Charles. Sometimes they vote politics, but a lot of times they vote conscience, you know. For instance, we'll find out if they vote in conscience with the actual poll today. Right? So we'll take some calls and then we put up our poll.
Well, that will be the test. But the thing about it is that while I hear what Dr. Gonzalez, remember Dr. Gonzalez have an axe to grind with Trinidad and Tobago, you know.
Well, he given third-hand information, though.
What is that?
I said he's giving third-hand information.
Yeah, he's given hearsay. He's a real reporter there, you know. He's given news source, but he's not going to say the source come from even from my country or from somebody else who was there. You know, he just have third-hand or fourth-hand information. You understand? So I remember, as I said, he has an axe to grind with Trinidad and Tobago. Remember, we're still waiting on some pre-action protocol letters that are supposed to come for the longest while, you know.
You mean for the housing thing?
For the housing thing, I don't know when that will reach. Yeah. I find that a story that just going quiet after, with Dr. Gonzalez and them. So,
but remember, he's out of office now, eh?
Well,
remember, he would have issued those things, he would have made those threats as a sitting prime minister and how they had maligned him. He's still at the homes, you know. I think he get rid of them. So he don't really care now. But at the same time, it's up to Minister Sobers now to say yeah or nay. Yeah, I really didn't go because I ain't going on no boat. I rather go in Pennywise with a shopping cart.
Yeah, but I think also the right place for that information to come from, because here in Dr. Gonzalez, who didn't attend, and after that information saying one thing, we have the president of Guyana saying something and another thing.
Well, he's saying the process was the same.
Yeah,
and and he supports the appointment.
Right, and we are saying that here going on, the process was flawed. So I think the persons at CARICOM need to respond. I find CARICOM just take real long to respond to certain things, boy.
I don't expect Secretary General Dr. Barnett to say anything.
No,
I don't think she will add her voice to that.
No, but this is a serious thing. So at the end of the day, you're talking about if the process was really flawed, or if it was saying the allegations that the government has placed on the table as to how the thing got on the agenda, if it was supposed to be on the agenda in the first place. All those things are questions that CARICOM has to answer. Those that, whether it be the Secretary General or somebody, they should answer those things.
True, I guess so. I guess they could. But who's the president? Is Terence Drew, I think now is the head of CARICOM.
Yeah.
I think he's the head. I don't see them adding to it, Sir Charles.
No,
I don't think CARICOM will add to that noise. Now that Dr. Gonzalez says what he said, and Dr. Irfan Ali said what he said.
No, but they are the outside of the administration. There was an article in the Express. I think it formed part of one of their editorials, if I didn't make it. And they were asking the question, basically too, if it's like if somebody it's not a structured something, and if somebody is going above the structure to place things on the agenda when it was not done, or it should have been done that way, they have to answer that. It's a serious allegation against CARICOM and how they deal the business. It's not a boys' club.
Well, what Ralph Gonzalez went on to say is that yes, it says unanimity in the vote, but if you absent yourself, it's not like because they are saying Trinidad is alleging that they were not invited or disinvited. That's what the word that was used, right? If based on what we are hearing now, that they were invited, but the representative didn't go across the island because of alleged seasickness.
Yeah, but
then you have absented yourself.
Yeah, but that what we're hearing should come from CARICOM, because they would know that. So why is it that CARICOM cannot say that they were invited and the minister did so and so? Defend all yourself.
Yeah. Well, we'll wait and see. But let's take a couple calls for Charles and then do our vote. Because our vote is about the Trinidad delegation going to Venezuela to get more just share.
Caller, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
Morning, Mr. Grant.
Richard and Mr. Charles. All right, listen. With the delegation going to Venezuela, this morning, my wife telling me 4 o'clock this morning, we was talking, I get up. She said, well, Kenneth, the Prime Minister, I guess she going to get she oil. And now all come and say the same thing now. So my wife hit the head before here. All said she has something put down there, she want to get oil. Number 2 with Suarez. He can't go across the island because he's getting seasick.
That's according to Dr. Gonzalez.
Well, yeah. But here the people and them late, and Dr. Ali, if Dr. Ali was here and he said twice for the voting. So he did more concrete. And you know, nice? She was looking to defend Guyana against Venezuela, but she said that's with the country. So Wendell, all are listening as usual. That's something I think I have to talk about. I can't think now.
No problem.
We'll take some calls again after the news. All right.
After the news, we'll get you back at the inside when you pull everything together. Caller, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Charles Wendell.
Morning, caller.
Morning.
In terms of that situation, if CARICOM responds, right, it would be in favor, or it would do an injustice to Trinidad and Tobago, because they would make the Prime Minister look as if she is just stirring up trouble. Because the Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda refused to comment because he doesn't want to be drawn into any conflict. And all the volunteers would be against Trinidad and Tobago because of the stance that they took, That's how this is going to come out, And Dr. Gonzalez would not make these kind of statements if he wasn't get concrete information from the members cool person. That's my view.
But that's what he said too, eh? He said he's 100% sure from his sources. You know?
Yeah. I think the statement from President Ali, Irfan Ali, is, you remember, this is a peculiar situation of how do you respond to a government in CARICOM that is more aggressive than usual. Okay, let's put that on the table. This current administration has been from the time they got elected and by the people of Trinidad and Tobago has been aggressive towards CARICOM in what they have stated. So CARICOM, they are seasoned diplomats and government leaders. They are understanding already that the tenor of Trinidad and Tobago's current administration is not as welcoming and certainly is drawing certain lines in the sand in terms of what they have said. Now it has ramped up because of this issue with the Secretary General Barnett. Even though yesterday we would have stated we weren't sure why it was being made such a big issue, and saying how it affects citizens and stuff like that, when a lot of CARICOM citizens sometimes don't even pay attention to who's the Secretary General. They're just concerned, is CARICOM making my life better or not? That's ultimately where most CARICOM citizens are. And they recognize that there is a brotherhood or sisterhood because we all come from the same experience. And so it makes sense for us to be as economically linked as possible. Beyond all of that, you have this incident. How is CARICOM supposed to respond? Because they are now saying, well, we are not sure. It's tricky diplomatic waters. To me, the president of Ghana in responding is intentional. That they're having one or two voices because he represents one of the leaders of CARICOM. And CARICOM is ultimately made up of the leaders of CARICOM. They may have an administrative section, but there is no larger voice than the leaders themselves. And you have the leader of the most economically strong from in terms of GDP growth in the CARICOM region. He's the one who spoke.
Yeah.
Is that intentional? I'd like to read everything in politics and at that level as intentional. It wasn't St. Kitts and Nevis talking or Grenada talking. It was the leader of the country with the largest energy resources in the region, in the English-speaking Caribbean, and whom also has the country who has the largest GDP growth on planet Earth.
All right, Richard, I want you to hold that thought right there. Let me just take a call and get in the other things, and then we'll probably pick up that particular point in the next hour. Caller, good morning to you.
Good morning, Norfolk, Virginia, from the center. Okay, so Sobers couldn't make it because of seasickness.
He couldn't get gravel.
This long, highfalutin title that they gave him, CARICOM, whatever, affairs or whatever. So what purpose is Ralph Maraj serving then? The Prime Minister can be there, the Minister of Foreign Affairs can be there. So, and this question, if the journalists should be asking that question, what about Marajo? Who is next in the chain of command? Nah, boy, hey, anyway, guys, have a good morning.
Yeah, okay, no problem, Virginia. Yeah.
So, but our poll is up. People
select somebody. Yeah. You select somebody to represent you. And as far as we know, Sean Sobers, as the Minister of Foreign Affairs and CARICOM, was the selected person. Until told otherwise. So the responsibility really now is on Sean Sobers to say, no, that was not true.
That's it. That's what I'm saying. He has to respond.
I'm sure we're going to hear all of that from all the other persons who are going to respond to Mr. Gonzalez today. I can actually picture what a lot of certain people are going to be saying today.
So you think Dr. Ralph Gonzalez is telling untruths, Sir Charles?
I am not in a position to say if he's telling untruths or truths or whatever it is. But what I'm saying is that I believe that CARICOM should have a pointed individual to make to respond.
That's what Richard was now. That's what Richard. You missed Richard.
I did not miss his point at all, and that's why I said in the next hour we'll pick it up because I don't necessarily agree with him.
All right. Oh, you don't necessarily agree with Richard.
Yeah, I don't.
We'll fight after the news. Anyway, do you expect positive results for Trinidad and Tobago from the delegation to Venezuela? Yes or no? That is our poll. And after the news come back, we will give the poll results, and then the Richard versus Sir Charles battle resumes.
All right, we will be back, people. 7 o'clock news is on right now.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is NETT Radio News Now.
This is News Now for Thursday, the 9th of April on New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio, and Guile Caribbean TV. I'm Derek McMillan. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar says a diplomatic team will soon travel to Venezuela to secure Trinidad and Tobago's share of cross-border oil and gas resources. The move signals a renewed push to advance stalled energy projects, including the Dragon and Laron Manatee gas fields. These projects are seen as critical to boosting gas supply and supporting the country's LNG industry, which has faced shortages in recent years. However, progress has been slowed by sanctions and ongoing negotiations between both countries. The Prime Minister says the initiative is part of efforts to strengthen economic security, alongside national development priorities. The government is pushing for a special meeting of CARICOM heads of government to challenge the reappointment of Secretary General Dr. Carla Barnett. This follows claims that Trinidad and Tobago was deliberately excluded from the decision-making process, including being disinvited from a key retreat where the matter was finalized. Foreign Affairs Minister Sean Sobers says the country has already sent formal correspondence raising concerns, describing the lack of response as troubling. He says government will first request a meeting of the Community Council, with the expectation the issue will be escalated to heads of government for a final decision. Officials maintain the concern is not with Dr. Barnett personally, but with the process, which they argue breached CARICOM rules and denied Trinidad and Tobago its right to participate. 9 people held in connection with the vandalism of several water and sewerage authority facilities in Tobago have been released as investigations continue. Police say the group, which included a WASA employee and 2 women, was freed pending further inquiries, with the probe still at a sensitive stage. The incidents, which took place between March 27th and 28th, targeted 4 key water supply sites, disrupting service to parts of the island before it was restored. Officials have condemned the attacks, with government moving to tighten security at utility installations and review legislation. WASA is also reminding the public that vandalism is a criminal offense and is urging anyone with information to come forward. In crime news, a businesswoman was shot and killed at her workplace in Curepe on Tuesday afternoon. Police say Tricia Mirage was attacked along Riverside Road around 4:30 p.m. and later died at hospital. Her killing has pushed the murder toll close to 100, with investigations ongoing. In a separate incident, a 36-year-old man is expected to face multiple charges after allegedly attempting to break into his wife's apartment in Mayaro, stealing her cell phone and assaulting responding officers before being subdued and arrested. Meanwhile, a woman was held at Piarco International Airport after officers allegedly found over 280 grams of cocaine strapped to her body, along with a quantity of foreign currency. And National Security Minister Roger Alexander has expressed concern over rising domestic-related violence following the killing of businessman Steve Ganny Jr. Police believe the incident stemmed from a domestic dispute, with a female relative in custody as investigations continue. In the region, the Jamaica government says it is investigating allegations that students are being exposed to sexual activity by Hurricane Melissa victims sheltering in some schools. Education Minister Dana Morris Dixon says the claims are extremely serious and must be urgently examined, calling for detailed information to support a full investigation. The issue was raised by the president of the Jamaica Teachers Association, who said there were reports of inappropriate behavior at some shelter sites. However, The Education Ministry says it has not received any official reports, and checks with school principals and regional officials have so far found no evidence to support the claims. Despite this, authorities say the matter is being treated with urgency, stressing that the safety and well-being of children remains the top priority. Finally, in international news, confusion continues over a proposed 10-point plan put forward by Iran ahead of the ceasefire with the United States. The plan was initially described by Donald Trump as a workable basis for negotiations, but multiple versions have since emerged with differing terms. Some versions included ending conflicts across several countries and reopening the Strait of Hormuz, while others suggested Iran would retain control of the waterway and continue uranium enrichment. However, the White House has disputed key elements of those proposals, insisting there will be no uranium enrichment and that Lebanon is not part of the ceasefire agreement. Meanwhile, tensions remain high in the region, with ongoing Israeli strikes in Lebanon raising concerns about how long the fragile ceasefire can hold.
And that's the main stories in the news at this time.
That was News Now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio.
Your mid-morning just got better. Join Sir Charles for the mid-morning mix and mingle, where good music, real talk, health, and family matters come together, and your voice is heard. Whether you're at work, on the go, or just taking a break, this is the perfect mix to keep you engaged, informed, and entertained. The mid-morning mix and mingle, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio.
Fresh energy. This is the NETT Radio Breakfast Show.
Lord, Lord. No. Yeah. This is not the anthem for 2009. This is the anthem from 2009 until all the end of time. Sing now. Dance must have plenty car. Yeah. No post office. Not at all. Why you sing? Dance must have. Yeah. Plenty car. No. It's not a mailbox. No. Not at all. Alright. Boom. How we love party, dancehall and ram jam. 30 girl to one man. How we love boat ride. How we love session. 40 girl to one man. It seem like it rise every time I ask a question. 50 girl to one man. Only girl where me lost in 101. Alright. Dance must have plenty girl. No post office. Not at all. Chorus. Dance must have plenty girl. Yeah. It's not a mailbox. Not at all. What's the sense of going to a dance if the dance ain't got no ladies? Hey, what's the sense of going to a dance if it ain't got the beautiful babies? Cause a dance without boobs and nookie and skirt is the same as bathing in dirt. I mean, I care who it offend, woman I defend. So everybody match the words. Dance must have plenty girls. No post office, not at all. Tell them, dance must have plenty girls. It's not a mailbox, not at all. How we love party, dancehall and ram jam. 30 girl to one man. How we love boat ride, how we love session. 40 girl to one man. It seem like it rise every time I ask a question. 50 girl to one man. 100 girl in a dance, tell them more fun. Alright, dance must have plenty girl. No post office, not at all. Yeah, dance must have plenty girl. Yeah. It's not a mailbox, not at all. In a dance is integral, and for your advice, it is legal. Calm your nerves and soothe your cerebral. So step autographs of shivers regal, instead of fighting like Steven Seagal. Why you don't go find a girl with look regal, futuristic or even medieval? Dominatrix, no pal. Dance must have plenty girl. No post office, not at all. Tell them now. Dance must have plenty girl. It's not a mailbox, not at all. You ever walk into a dance and your conscience ball out? Look at woman. Then you walk in the middle of the crowd and you start feel proud when you start see woman. All down by the bar is woman. Man gave him by the turn for a woman. Every turn, every twist, every aim, every miss, everywhere that you look, pure woman. Dance must have plenty girl. No post office, not at all. Dance must have 40 girl, 50 girl to one. Bunch of women in the dance, bring them more fun. Alright, dance must have plenty girls. No post office, no post office, not at all, not at all. Dance must.
Morning just got better. You're locked into NETT Radio Breakfast Show. Fueling your day with the best music and real talk.
Plenty girl. Dance must have plenty girl. 12 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. Hey everybody, good morning to you once again. If you're just joining us, we are so happy to have you on The Breakfast Show. Yes, that is where you are at. Trinidad and Tobago's number one get-up show, The Breakfast Show. And guess what? It's happening right here on NETT Radio. New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio, the heartbeat of the Caribbean. And yes, we take you above and beyond. Let me say good morning to the Anthem crew and all the other folks who are coming in along the way. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you very much for showing up. And I also want to say much thanks to the folks out there at Gael Caribbean TV. All right? So, we want you to stay with us all throughout the day. Remember, when we come off of the Gael feed, you can pick us up on netradiott.com. That's NETTRADIOTT.com. netradiott.com. You can also get us on TuneIn at NETT Radio Trinidad. NETT Radio Trinidad, that is our handles to tune in, where you get us on your Google and Alexa devices. And also, people, you can check out all of our pages. We are on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and now on TikTok. Right, all of those pages, the handles are NETT Radio Trinidad. All right, very simple. NETT Radio Trinidad, and you can view, like, subscribe, support all the pages. Yeah, from our website actually, you can trip to all of those pages and just support and follow it for us now. So we get more numbers on all of the pages, especially the TikTok page. I'm trying to see if I can grow that page quickly. All right. So like, subscribe, and also don't forget to support us, because we need your support on NETT Radio. On our website, there's a donate button, and in our social media descriptions, there are donate links that you can donate directly to the channel through PayPal and WePay. If all that is getting a little too confusing, guess what? You can just text the word donate. Text donate to any one of our numbers. So you can text it to 2811315 or 2995153, and we will get back to you to help you to get through that process seamlessly, right? So the morning poll is up. Do you expect positive results for Trinidad and Tobago from the delegation that is supposed to be heading out to Venezuela to see what we can get from the oil and gas? So do you expect positive results coming out from that? Remember, you're voting yes or you're voting no first. You can put your comments after, right? And when we come back, we will tell you how you voted.
San Fernando, you asked, then we listen. Scandal and Citrus is coming back to South at Sapper. 2 nights only. Saturday the 11th of April at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday the 12th at 6:30 p.m. Tickets available at K-Squared Fashions, at C3 Center and Brentwood Mall in Chaguanas, and at Fens by the Roundabout in Marabella. Box office at Sapper opens from Tuesday 7th April, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. Scandal and Citrus is back, and we're at Sapper, San Fernando. It's a bacchanal.
Scandal in Cedrus.
Trinidad and Tobago, this is your kind of theatre. The UE Department of Creative and Festival Arts presents the 2026 Annual Student Theatre Production, Hand in the Air. A bold Caribbean story that challenges power through mass with high-energy dance, live music, calypso, soca, and real Caribbean vibes. Directed by internationally acclaimed Louis McWilliams, with music by Marvin Newton and choreography by Dion Batiste. So you know it's a must see. Hand in the Air runs from April 10th to 12th with a schools matinee at 10 a.m. on April 10th and public shows at 7 p.m. nightly on April 11th and 12th at the Learning Resource Center, UE St. Augustine. Tickets are $60 from the schools matinee and $80 for students and $100 for adults for the public show. Call 662-2002 extension 85455 or WhatsApp 272-3232. Visit the DCFA office, Cheeseman Avenue, St. Augustine, or the UE St. Augustine on social media for more information. Bring your crew and come. Put your hand in the air.
Are you taking care of your sexual health and overall well-being? At Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, we believe your confidence, wellness, and intimacy matter. Visit us at our convenient locations: 10 Carmody Street, St. Augustine, Edinburgh, Chaguanas, Shops of Day Bay, 95 Circular Road, Vista Bella, Docks Ranch Light Pole 51, SS Aaron Road, Penal, and Metro Hotel, Suite 1, Number 2 Noel Street North, Cuba. From relaxing massage services to professional guidance on sexual wellness, we're here to support you every step of the way. Consult with renowned sexologist Dr. Raj Ramnanan for expert advice tailored to your needs. Take the first step toward a healthier, more confident you. Call 285-9739 or 645-4543 to book your appointment today. Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, where wellness meets confidence.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
End times is here. Are you prepared? Check us on New Era TT Radio or NETT Radio with Brother Raka and Brother Yatazakawa on Mondays from 7 to 8 p.m. End times is here. Stay tuned.
Dun 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 dun
Ada pelawat aku when do boa for you. You know, you the bacchanalis.
Look that. Yeah, one of the sweetest voices in Calypso, eh? Trust me.
Kerwin.
But yeah, Kerwin.
Yeah.
But you also had to get that the clip of that Rocky, that Rocky clip, eh? So we could use it from time to time.
Okay. Yeah. Show the audio kick around.
Yeah.
And that was a Western, right?
No, Rocky, the boxer.
You know, I understand what you're saying from the team from Rocky.
The show on the OK Corral is a Western.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing about that. I don't think I ever saw it, but
yeah, that might have been before our time. Anyway, our poll is up, people, and we expect lots of votes on it. Do you expect positive results for Trinidad and Tobago from the delegation to Venezuela? You notice we stayed away from using the words just share and things like that, right? And persona non grata and things like that, right? We don't use those kind of words here, right? So, do you expect positive results? Let's go. Ready, Sir Charles?
Of course. Go ahead.
Jason Samuel, yes. Finbar Collins, no. And I'm not reading the rest of your comment. Suzanne Jessup, no. Trini gets fit, no. Diane, no. Wayne Joseph, no. Aviana Abraham, no. David McCarthy, no. Elizabeth, no. So this is Elizabeth, Sir Charles. And I think
that is it, Elizabeth.
Suzanne Jessup, Suzette Jessup. Not the other Elizabeth, right? But they both come up as Elizabeth. Melchizedek, no. So right. So you see, she's confirming she's Suzette Jessup. No. Right? We already got your vote, Elizabeth. Kazim Mohammed, no. Kim Govaya, no. Felix Kazo, no. Michael Cadet, no. Alistair Hart, no. Lennox Francois, no. Slimy Show, no. Michael Eastman, no. Robert Taylor, no. Slick Money Grip, no. Scorpion Pepper, yes. Beefy Smith, yes. Andre Reno, no. All right. Gregory Boyer, yes. Colted Finch, no. Somebody had earlier said Colted Finch that Delcy will do what her handlers tell her to do. In other words, she will do what America says to do. Somebody made that comment earlier on. Sherma Paul. Huh?
A very important observation.
Yeah. Sherma Paul, no. Gemma Peters Halls, no. Hilary Zahn, no. Joseph Clement, no. Beauty Culture, yes. Beauty Culture might be the one who would have made it earlier on. Wood shit radio station. What a name. No. Michael Robinson, no. Robert Allen, no. Margarita Chow, no. Carol Guevara, yes. Rena Jennings, no. Debbie didn't vote. Yeah, Debbie Mitchell, yes. Bernadette Yates, no. Magic, no. Rena Jennings, no. Annalie Johnson, yes. CJ's waiting for the Bacchanal. I thought so. Valerie Mendoza, no.
CJ is a Bacchanal.
Isa Bacchanal, Isa. Nice going to watch it? No. Susie B, no. Kenny and Harlem, no. Trini Merle Kitchen, no. St. Aubin, yes. And Carlisle Cupid, yes. Andre also says yes. This is a different Andre. Right? Says yes. All right. Those are the votes I have so far, Sir Charles.
All right. Okay, so let me see who's on the WhatsApp this morning. Where did it start on the WhatsApp? So we had Pauline saying yes. Kenwin saying yes. Captain Ron saying yes. Judith in Tobago saying yes. Raymond saying no. Kurt Edwards saying no. Miss Sampson saying no. Sexy Red saying yes. And Sean Ram saying yes.
All right, I have 3 more votes for you. Ron DeSantis, no. Carla Hercules, no. Margaret Thomas, no.
All right, so 60 people on the vote on the chat who voted this morning, and 45 of you said no. They don't expect any main benefits, but 15% said yes, they expect some benefits.
If I had to vote, I would say yes, because Venezuela stands to benefit too at the end of the day. And I think Venezuela needs this.
That is what
just as much as we need.
That is a very interesting part of the whole thing, because it's not like you're just going to, you're not donating money or anything to Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago has to go with their money.
Yeah. And we've already gone with money. We've already spent money on this deal. A lot of money we've already spent on this deal. So much
so that we don't even have a clue as to how much money we spent.
Yeah. Well, they never really revealed the figure. But yeah, I think Sean Sobers is a plane. It's not a boat this time, right? So you don't have to worry. And it could be a private jet. So you could jump on the plane, right, Sean? And for Dr. Munilal, I think once he maintains his calm, and I think he could do it. Ernesto Kazar, who's the next minister in our ministry, I don't know. He's a union man, true and true. I don't know if they'll want to take him on a delegation like that. And who else? Of course, we have the ministers who always going everywhere: Barry Padara, Nicholas Morris, and help me now, the other name. Saddam Hussein, I can see probably being diplomatic and doing a good job in a negotiation like that. I don't know about the other two. I don't know them too well. And who else? Who else is there possibly to go? Jolene John?
Yes, definitely.
David Lee? You know? But the person who I would have liked to see there, she is no longer that ministry. She was the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Energy for years and years and years. Wealth of experience. They moved her as soon as the government changed. She is now with the Minister of Sport, who is just there.
Yeah. Well, it will be interesting. But they didn't indicate as to when they will be heading out, right?
No, they didn't indicate. And the Prime Minister didn't say she is leading the delegation either. Last time she said that, and then of course the war broke out, right? And she was declared persona non grata. This time she has stayed away from saying she will be leading the delegation. You understand? I don't think she and Delcy, well, maybe I can see Delcy Rodriguez at the end of the day probably doing what is best for Venezuela. You understand?
Yeah. And we always talk about, countries having interests. So if that is what it is at this point in time, interest because of business and money. I mean, we have seen people in business fall out big time, And when it's time for negotiations, and they sit around a table and they make deals and they go back warring after.
Yeah, divorce does work the same way,
I know. I've never been there.
You've never been there?
I don't want to put no caveats.
Well, I'm telling you, don't go there. I tell people already, either don't get married, and if you're married, don't get divorced. Take my stupid advice. And for the people who call in on the Alexander twins, no. They could never be part of that.
Nah. I can't see them being part of that.
Yeah.
Definitely. They cannot be part of that.
Richard, are you there still? I know he is there.
He is there. He making and some kind of crackling going on in the back by him.
Yeah. But that's our poll this morning. A lot of people are saying no, that they don't expect anything positive to come out of it. I disagree. I think something positive will come out of it. It has to.
I mean, I would say I hope so, because ultimately you want Trinidad and Tobago and all of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago to be successful. And it comes back to basic things like infrastructure, housing, the way people live. That's one of my pet peeves. It's one of my pet peeves too, to see homeless people on the streets of Trinidad and Tobago. That a country that has had so much money for a relatively small size population, and people should not be living in substandard housing at all anywhere in this country. And it aggravates me, and politicians aggravate me, that in 2026 you see so much of that still. So whatever we can do to make the country more economically robust and in the long term, short and long term, I'm for it. So I hope so. I hope it yields, what we need and what we require, and that governments now and in the future make better decisions about transforming the lives of citizens across this country in a more tangible way.
Yeah, that's what we can all hope for. You know what I mean? Whether those things are going to
well, sometimes politicians get greedy, and and their cronies already.
Yeah.
You know, so
whether it's going to bear fruit too within this term of office is yet to we'll have to wait and see. You know, a year has gone already. You know, how fast we could move this along will depend on who goes and how they negotiate. All right, so
we can go back to the lines.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if Richard want to continue. If you and Richard want to deal with that, because I am agreeing with both of you. Let me say from the outset.
But let me just finish the point I was making.
Mm-hmm.
When you're dealing with Trinidad and Tobago, as I said, as I prefaced by saying, which was maintained a very aggressive narrative with regard to CARICOM. All right, let's start off there. And you have this issue that has become the forefront of the thing, to the point of threats being made to withhold funding from the largest contributor to that funding.
Mm-hmm.
I get it that CARICOM has administrators and all of that, but I will maintain there is no stronger voice than the CARICOM leaders. That's what Caribbean people relate to. We see CARICOM in terms of leadership and the leaders that man CARICOM. All right? And so I am sure because of not the exchange of words, because there's no exchange, because of the statements coming out of Trinidad and Tobago with regard to the recently held heads meeting and the election of Secretary General Barnett. CARICOM leaders, we have been saying, how do we respond to this? There was no outpouring of leaders speaking individually, which could have happened a week ago. Nobody spoke. So it had to be that there was a decision among leaders in whatever way, let's keep quiet. And then they say we will have to decide who will speak. So when President Ali spoke, I don't think that President Ali just got up one morning and said, no, I feel like going and respond to Trinidad.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Because that's not how politics moves. So when he got up and he made that statement, and to the point and he said, and that hopefully that ends it, or some derivative of that, to me, he is speaking with the consent to some degree of the rest of CARICOM leaders.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you would have had a flurry of voices, Mia Motley saying something, Holder saying something. You would have had a flurry of voices. That's not what happened. You had one leader speaking. And I think in deciding who they wanted to speak, they were very intentional. Now, this is just my opinion, but in just analyzing it, because you didn't have a multiplicity of voices and just one voice saying it was done in accordance with, this is how it was done, there was nothing wrong with it, and I stand by the decision. Why not there other CARICOM voices saying it?
Yeah. Well,
so I think it's intentional.
Sorry, and that's where I tend to agree with you, Richard, that probably was a strategic move by no less a person than the president of Guyana, who we always like to how I should put it, link Guyana with Trinidad and Tobago in terms of its racial composition and whatnot. You understand? As a friendly nation with Trinidad and Tobago, and the Guyana president is saying, listen, this is how she was selected and elected the first time, and the process was no different this time, right? So basically that ends that argument, right? About how it happened, the constitutionality of it happening. But in Sir Charles' corner, maybe the head of CARICOM should say, listen, this is what happened. In other words, he could use the same words that the Guyanese president used and put an end to it. Say, listen, this is what happened. It's no different from the last time. And we are in support of Secretary General Dr. Carla Barnett, which is what Dr. Ali also said. But so I'm not disagreeing with either one of you this morning.
Yeah,
But
I framed it that way also, Wendell, and Richard, because of the fact that this is a situation that is involving the integrity of a CARICOM process that Trinidad and Tobago has raised. And I think the response must come from CARICOM itself, because they are...
From the head of CARICOM.
Yeah.
But it has come from CARICOM,
Yeah, so either through its chair or the secretariat. And I don't think it is something that should come through.
Well, I don't think the secretary... I get you, Sir Charles, and that would be ideal, but I don't think the secretariat can get involved.
Yeah.
Well, whether it be them or whether it be chair, but I'm saying that CARICOM must have an official voice, unless CARICOM says, and I have not seen the president of Guyana's statement, so I don't know if
all in the chat.
No, well, you know what thing that's come along in that chat, and then at a certain time when we enter the program, we can't really go back to all them things, but unless within that speech he says also that I am speaking on behalf of CARICOM on this situation. I'm taking ownership because I have been appointed to say this on behalf of CARICOM. This is how it is. But CARICOM has not said that. And I don't think he has said that. So while I understand his influence as a leader, I believe that some issues that are facing CARICOM, especially within this turbulent time that CARICOM is, this is a good time for them to show leadership and not hide behind the skirts of regional members like Guyana or Grenada or whoever it is. CARICOM needs to stand up. And if they're not prepared to do that, something wrong with CARICOM.
President Irfan Ali's statement ended by saying the president underscored the importance of steady leadership within the regional body, signaling Guyana's full endorsement of Dr. Barnett's continued tenure at the helm of CARICOM. That is a very strong statement.
Yeah, but it's still not
the importance of steady leadership.
Yeah,
that's what this is.
Thank you. Is Pope Leo lying as well? I will put that on your plate and think about it.
Because he's no longer going to America.
Come on, he will not be. You know when you spend it before the July, he said he will spend it by an immigration processing center.
Yes,
and is a direct slap in the face to the Trump administration. Thank you for the opportunity, gentlemen.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm glad you're able to make a point, but I couldn't understand the equation with me on that. I just can't understand that.
No, in terms of what you believe when you read it, when you hear it.
Well, my belief, whatever I believe is my belief. I never say it's my belief and everybody else believes.
You believe that Dr. Ralph Gonzalez just was making bacchanal over Sean Sobers, right? That's what you believe, right?
No, what I believe...
Nothing wrong with our belief.
What I believe, it is 1 minute past 8 o'clock and we're going for the news.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is NETT Radio News Now.
This is News Now for Thursday, the 9th of April on New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio, and Guile Caribbean TV. I'm Derek McMillan. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar says a diplomatic team will soon travel to Venezuela to secure Trinidad and Tobago's share of cross-border oil and gas resources. The move signals a renewed push to advance stalled energy projects, including the Dragon and Laron Manatee gas fields. These projects are seen as critical to boosting gas supply and supporting the country's LNG industry, which has faced shortages in recent years. However, progress has been slowed by sanctions and ongoing negotiations between both countries. The Prime Minister says the initiative is part of efforts to strengthen economic security, alongside national development priorities. The government is pushing for a special meeting of CARICOM heads of government to challenge the reappointment of Secretary General Dr. Carla Barnett. This follows claims that Trinidad and Tobago was deliberately excluded from the decision-making process, including being disinvited from a key retreat where the matter was finalized. Foreign Affairs Minister Sean Sobers says the country has already sent formal correspondence raising concerns, describing the lack of response as troubling. He says government will first request a meeting of the community council, with the expectation the issue will be escalated to heads of government for a final decision. Officials maintain the concern is not with Dr. Barnett personally, but with the process, which they argue breached CARICOM rules and denied Trinidad and Tobago its right to participate. 9 people held in connection with the vandalism of several water and sewerage authority facilities in Tobago have been released as investigations continue. Police say the group, which included a WASA employee and 2 women, was freed pending further inquiries, with the probe still at a sensitive stage. The incidents, which took place between March 27th and 28th, targeted 4 key water supply sites, disrupting service to parts of the island before it was restored. Officials have condemned the attacks, with government moving to tighten security at utility installations and review legislation. WASA is also reminding the public that vandalism is a criminal offense and is urging anyone with information to come forward. In crime news, a businesswoman was shot and killed at her workplace in Curepe on Tuesday afternoon. Police say Trisha Mirage was attacked along Riverside Road around 4:30 p.m. and later died at hospital. Her killing has pushed the murder toll close to 100, with investigations ongoing. In a separate incident, a 36-year-old man is expected to face multiple charges after allegedly attempting to break into his wife's apartment in Mayaro, stealing her cell phone and assaulting responding officers before being subdued and arrested. Meanwhile, a woman was held at Piarco International Airport after officers allegedly found over 280 grams of cocaine strapped to her body, along with a quantity of foreign currency. And National Security Minister Roger Alexander has expressed concern over rising domestic-related violence following the killing of businessman Steve Ganny Jr. Police believe the incident stemmed from a domestic dispute, with a female relative in custody as investigations continue. In the region, the Jamaica government says it is investigating allegations that students are being exposed to sexual activity by Hurricane Melissa victims sheltering in some schools. Education Minister Dana Morris Dixon says the claims are extremely serious and must be urgently examined, calling for detailed information to support a full investigation. The issue was raised by the president of the Jamaica Teachers Association, who said there were reports of inappropriate behavior at some shelter sites. However, the Education Ministry says it has not received any official reports, and checks with school principals and regional officials have so far found no evidence to support the claims. Despite this, authorities say the matter is being treated with urgency, stressing that the safety and well-being of children remains the top priority. Finally, in international news, confusion continues over a proposed 10-point plan put forward by Iran ahead of the ceasefire with the United States. The plan was initially described by Donald Trump as a workable basis for negotiations, but multiple versions have since emerged with differing terms. Some versions included ending conflicts across several countries and reopening the Strait of Hormuz, while others suggested Iran would retain control of the waterway and continue uranium enrichment. However, the White House has disputed key elements of those proposals, insisting there will be no uranium enrichment and that Lebanon is not part of the ceasefire agreement. Meanwhile, tensions remain high in the region, with ongoing Israeli strikes in Lebanon raising concerns about how long the fragile ceasefire can hold.
And that's the main stories in the news at this time.
That was News Now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio.
Scandal in San Fernando, you asked, then we listen. Scandal in Citrus is coming back to South at Zappa. 2 nights only. Saturday the 11th of April at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday the 12th at 6:30 p.m. Tickets available at K-Squared Fashions, at C3 Center and Brentwood Mall in Chaguanas, and at Fens by the Roundabout in Marabella. Box office at Zappa opens from Tuesday 7th April, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. Scandal in Citrus is back, and we're at Zappa, San Fernando. It's a bacchanal.
Scandal in Cedrus.
Trinidad and Tobago, this is your kind of theatre. The UE Department of Creative and Festival Arts presents the 2026 Annual Student Theatre Production, Hand in the Air, a bold Caribbean story that challenges power through mass with high-energy dance, live music, calypso, soca, and real Caribbean vibes. Directed by internationally acclaimed Louis McWilliams, with music by Marvin Newton and choreography by Dion Batiste. So you know it's a must-see. Hand in the Air runs from April 10th to 12th with a school's matinee at 10 a.m. on April 10th and public shows at 7 p.m. nightly on April 11th and 12th at the Learning Resource Center, UE St. Augustine. Tickets are $60 from the school's matinee and $80 for students and $100 for adults for the public show. Call 662-2002 extension 85455 or WhatsApp 272-3232. Visit the DCFA office, Cheeseman Avenue, St. Augustine, or the UE St. Augustine on social media for more information. Bring your crew and come put your hand in the air.
Are you taking care of your sexual health and overall well-being? At Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, we believe your confidence, wellness, and intimacy matter. Visit us at our convenient locations: 10 Carmody Street, St. Augustine, Edinburgh, Chaguanas, Shops of Day Bay, 95 Circular Road, Vista Bella, Docks Ranch Light Pole 51, SS Aaron Road, Penal, and Metro Hotel, Suite 1, Number 2 Noel Street North, Cuba. From relaxing massage services to professional guidance on sexual wellness, we're here to support you every step of the way. Consult with renowned sexologist Dr. Raj Ramnanan for expert advice tailored to your needs. Take the first step toward a healthier, more confident you. Call 285-9739 or 645-4543 to book your appointment today. Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, where wellness meets confidence.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
End times is here. Are you prepared? Check us on New Era TT Radio or NETT Radio with Brother Raka and Brother Yatazakawa on Mondays from 7 to 8 p.m. End times is here. Stay tuned.
All right, so we are back. We're inside the final session here this Thursday morning, this throwback Thursday on New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio. This is the world famous acclaimed The Breakfast Show. And there's Stevens, Richard Raghubar Singh, and of course, me, yours truly, Charles. We're here Monday to Friday to make sure we get you up, entertain you, and keep you informed with all that's happening. And speaking of what is happening, coming up when we finish the broadcast, maybe at somewhere around 20 to the hour of 9 o'clock, we will be bringing you the MSJ. The MSJ has their Tuesday tour, and we normally carry that for you on a Thursday morning so that you can hear the different voices in our spaces, dealing with the different topics and things that are happening all around us. And don't forget, when we come off of those streams also, you can join us at netradiott.com. That's NETTRADIOTT.com. Okay, so you can listen to us all day when we are off of the feeds. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you are looking to get to all of our pages on our website. You can go to our social media pages, so Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Please like, subscribe, and follow all of the pages so that we can grow all of those pages in a very nice kind of way. So we are back inside the session. Yeah, Wendell, Richard.
And I just want to remind people, of course, that Scandal in Cedros is on this weekend in San Fernando at Sapa on Saturday at 8:30 and Sunday at 6:30. Of course, tickets are available at K Squared Fashions, C3 Center, and Brentwood Mall in Chagonas, and Friends of Marabella by the Roundabout, and at the box office at Sapa, which opens from 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. And I know droves of you have been going to that box office in Sapa. What I will tell people is get your tickets early. I know some outlets have already sold out their first batch of tickets and are now going on to their second batch because they had sold out completely. So tickets are going, and you should get your tickets early. I am not joking when I say that. Don't be disappointed. Please get your tickets early. So those are the outlets, and of course the box office is one of the best places to get it because they are open from 12 noon to 6 p.m. at Sapa. We're looking forward to it and having a fantastic time in San Fernando this weekend with Scandal in Cedros.
All right. So is last time you went south, you were at Naparima Bowl?
Yeah, we were at Naparima Bowl.
Oh, okay. You know, I don't think I've ever been to Sapa, have I? I don't think so. Yeah. I think I attended a local government thing there years ago when it had now opened. But I don't think I've ever attended a play there. I came to Naparima Bowl with Dr. Job. Not Sapa, yeah. All right, interesting.
Sapa is a wonderful theater too. So
it is.
It's kind of like Napa, but smaller. Yeah, Napa is the biggest theater we have in the country, but Sapa is the second largest.
Well,
Andre's saying they're the second largest. Between them and Queen's Hall, they're the second largest.
Okay.
I'm not so sure which one beats the other.
All right. Andre's asking a question here, Richard. Although I thought Dr. Irfan Ali's statement put that to rest, but I'm going to read it anyway. Richard, do you think it was appropriate for the election to take place in the absence of any notice of the election being given to members prior to the meeting? I thought Dr. Ali made it clear that the process was no different from the last time, and he supports the process, the election of Dr. Barnett. I thought that I put that to rest, but apparently it has not in the face of Andre 4747.
But I mean, we would have to go with what Dr. Ali is saying in the sense of because to me the major objection that Trinidad and Tobago has is that we weren't invited. That is the narrative.
Yes.
It wasn't about the actual process of electing, but that we were present to basically vote no because it has to be unanimous, right? But Trinidad and Tobago, according to some news reports at CNC3, weren't the only country that wasn't there. It was Bahamas was one.
Yeah.
Trinidad and Tobago, and I think maybe it was Belize, or I can't remember who the third one was.
Either Antigua or Nevis. Oh.
But those other countries haven't raised any issues. They haven't raised issues for not being present. And with the selection vote, Trinidad has raised it. And Trinidad was at or has been adamant that they weren't invited, which is a substantive issue, because they wanted to give that vote, I assume, in the negative, which would amount to a kind of veto, and they would not have been able to elect Secretary General Barnett. Now, if what Ralph Gonzalez is saying is true, that Sean Sobers elected not to go pursuant to the invitation because he didn't have gravel and he would get seasick. But I shouldn't say he didn't have gravel. That he will get seasick. And if that is true, because we don't know, then it means the only person that has anything to answer at this point is really Sean Sobers.
Yeah.
Because CARICOM is in the clear. CARICOM has said you were invited and you did not turn up.
And the process was the same as it was before.
Right.
Yeah.
So
that is not official CARICOM communique. We are just accepting it that way.
No, but they qualified it. We said if it's true, Sir Charles, you weren't listening. If it's true, do you understand what that sentence means? That phrase? If it's true, then Sean Sobers has something to answer to.
Okay. And even if it's not true, Sean Sobers need to say, hey, that is not true. I was there.
Yeah.
I don't get seasick.
Yeah, but you remember Mr. Sobers also.
And what he could do is pose up in a boat ride and be whining and say, no, you see, I'm not sick.
Yeah, I'm
Watch
sure
me go down. I'm not sick.
He could go on reggae ride.
Yeah.
And that will solve the problem because we'll believe that.
Yeah. Go on a boat, Sean.
But also,
not just go on a boat and wine.
Wine, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But remember, he also addressed this in the parliament too, you know.
Who?
Mr. Sobers, he talked about it in the parliament also. So
yes, it was consistent with what they said before, that they were not invited. Now we are hearing that he was.
Well, we're hearing that from...
Has he addressed the fact that a former prime minister of a country in CARICOM has said that he was invited? Because you're kind of dismissing Rav Gonzalez as if he's a nobody. He's a former, very seasoned prime minister of one of the member states who went on record on national radio in St. Vincent and said he was invited, and he had it from 100% reliable sources that he said, no, he gets seasick. You're kind of minimizing it as if it's somebody in the market say it in an interview.
So Charles, but let's go down your road. Let's go down your road that Sean Sobers was on the air waiting thing, and they heard that he was coming to vote no to shut down that thing. And said, get out, leave it there. Leave it right there and only go and do all the thing and then come back and say something. It could have been that, you know, Sir Charles.
I don't know what it was, but I think the government also was also, besides the fact that they may not have been invited, I think the process the process of it
yeah, but you know what, this is all about
it comes on the order paper to become whatever it is that vote when it is to be taken, how it comes on the order paper. The government has challenged that, you know.
So Charles, this is the Prime Minister possibly toting because of that snub when she was in opposition. Because they also made, besides her raising that at CARICOM level, she also raised the proposal that opposition members, opposition leaders be afforded a space at the CARICOM table too. Not so?
Yeah, I understand, but that is something totally different. And if I have to buy the fact that the Prime Minister is toting, well, then I also have to good grounds for feeling that Ralph Gonzalez is also toting.
But again, so Sean, he had met Sean Sobers. That was telling you if it was somebody else. I can understand.
No, because remember, what has transpired with him in the past, he could probably be toting, and not against Sean Sobers directly, but against the government and their stance. And he's basically saying that what they are saying is not so, and he could be toting also.
But he went to, but then if that's the case, Sir Charles, and maybe we need to end. We now need to end this discussion here. Then he had to be real toting to raise an issue like that. That Sean Sobers said he gets seasick. He had to be real toting there.
The fact of the matter is, if I was Secretary General Barnett, I would have considered just stepping down and letting the process begin again, because I wouldn't want to be part of that confusion for the integrity of my own personal well-being.
And that might be the intention, Richard.
Yeah, if all the politicians want to argue and carry on so, and about my appointment, I might have considered. I'm just talking about me personally.
Yeah.
And if I was in Secretary Barnett's position, Of course,
I don't agree.
Of course, you can take the alternative position that I was duly elected and I'm holding the position. And Trinidad can't be, because the narrative now coming from whether you believe Rav Gonzalez or not, is that Trinidad had the opportunity, missed the boat, and now is trying to have the boat come back.
Mm-hmm. You know why I don't agree that Secretary General Barnett should step down? For the sole reason, one of the reasons is that Dr. Ali has endorsed her and said the process was fair and similar to what obtained in the past. I given Dr. Irfan Ali the benefit of credibility, right?
And I agree with you to an extent, because I don't believe that she should step down. Mm-hmm. But I believe that CARICOM themselves should speak on the issue from an official standpoint.
And maybe they will. And
maybe they will. We don't know. But I don't believe that she should step down. But I believe that they should clarify the situation.
Yeah, but, I agree with that. You know what I don't forget? I don't forget also that the other day we were told that these independent senators were the president's senators, and they are eater food, and they just the other derogatory words were used to describe them. Then we were told that 2 independent senators approached the government to get favorable treatment to vote for them, and they're still there in the Senate.
Yeah, well, that is
all of that is language.
Yeah.
And talk. And the independent senators were right to just ignore it. You have your job to do as an independent senator. Do your job.
And that is why Secretary Barnett should just ignore all of them.
Politicians.
Secretary Barnett should just ignore all of them too and go ahead and do what she had to do. And that's it.
All right, so people, we are taking your calls, 281-1315 or 299-5156. Good morning, Zeno.
Yeah, Antigua and
Good morning, Sir Charles. Good morning, Richard. Good morning, Wendell.
Morning. You're sounding very energized this morning, Zena. I must let you know, you're sounding like you're up and you're ready.
Well, I'm up and ready a long time because my fingers are tired, darling. Right? So I had to get energetic. Because I want to get in to say, I agree with Wendell and others. The Barnett lady should not step down, Secretary Barnett, because I believe everything everybody say except them in Trinidad and Tobago. Because we are accustomed to what must be going on here and the things that we are being told. That's never true. I agree with her. Stay right there, because one country can make a difference. It goes by the majority. I'm sure they had a caucus. I am quite sure they had a caucus. Right? So what? Why should she step down to give them? Hello,
yeah.
Mr. Charles.
Zena, you're getting distracted.
Yes, I am not hearing you all.
No, we listen to you.
Okay, so I am saying that they must not give them here the benefit of the doubt to come to go to the war to get in there to what? To say no? No, they're the majority rules. So what? They're out and they're out. But this threatening them and all that thinking, well, what? Because she would step down and to call a fresh election. I don't agree with it.
Okay, thanks very much, Zena.
I want to just say something else I wanted to tell Richard, you know. Anyhow, it's so hard to get, you know. And wait so long that I forget.
I forget. Oh my word. All right. Okay, no problem.
What you wanted to tell me, Zena?
She forget. She'll call you back when she remember. Caller, good morning to you.
Morning, gentlemen. Let me give my context into this argument, or the discussion, really. One of the reasons I believe that the CARICOM don't necessarily have to respond to the Prime Minister since on the allegation that they were left out. Diplomacy probably have diplomatic conversation behind the scenes. And in addition to that, if you take into context the contribution that Trinidad makes towards CARICOM, $120 odd million, right? And what they receive in return in terms of $10.1 billion, right? That threat of removing that contribution, it will only affect us rather than CARICOM. Because if we go into the whole arrangement, although we make a greater contribution, we have more favorable conditions than the other islands themselves. In addition to that, the head of CARICOM don't necessarily have to respond when it is that you have a member state in terms of Guyana that holds an influential point, made a commitment and said, or made a statement that stated that the process is no different than what occurred before. And I think that is so significant in terms of the process not being different than what occurred before. That should rest that argument, or that question to rest. Mm-hmm. Because you have to ask, well, what has, in terms of Trinidad, what I could recall in that summit that happened, I was kind of surprised when the Prime Minister left as soon as Rubio left, and then Son Sobers remain, and then you had the CARICOM heads had a retreat on the island of Nevis, and Trinidad was not present, and no form of communication until later on when this business was starting. I think this was all planned, and I think it's going to blow up in their faces, and I think the onus is on the Foreign Affairs Minister to debunk what was said by the Ralph Gonzalez, and I have no prior history of Ralph Gonzalez speaking on international whereby anyone has questioned his credibility, right?
Yeah.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Yeah, take it. And he basically, at the end of his statement, said, just drop it. He advising the Trinidad and Tobago government, just leave it there.
Exactly. And we were puzzled about why does it have so much currency that they feel it's so important to raise this issue for so long. What's the benefit? And the best answer, as I see, and I stand by it, that Sean Sobers can do, is go on a boat ride and wine and hold on to the banner, and when you hold on to the banner and you wind down,
Yeah.
You don't have to say nothing. You don't have to say nothing. You don't have to respond. Just go on a boat ride and do that, and let them film you. And if you feel to put a leg up on top of the banners, that to do that too. And then we'll say, okay, Ralph Gonzalez talking nonsense.
End of story. They really leave me on the pier. I show you now that they leave me on the pier. And that we have a case.
That's all you need to do. Please, Sean Sobers, do that now.
Caller, good morning. Gentlemen, good morning. Happy Thursday.
Morning.
Listen. First of all, the Venezuela thing, I had voted yes because it's like Wendell or one of you guys has said it. They have their interests and then they'll take orders from the United States. Simple as that. Because whether you want to accept it or not, Dulcie is going to be, and she is, a puppet government for Donald Trump one day. All right? As long as he's still in that office. I don't know how long he has there again. All right? But this thing with Karen, let me tell you something, right? I'm listening to you all morning, trying to get it. And I feel, I'm trying to figure out why is it that y'all can't see, or you're seeing, or y'all just want the conversation to go on. And I agree with Dina. The problem is, it's Kamala. It's not Mr. Gonzalez. It's not the CARICOM countries. The problem is Miss Kamala Prasad. She is aligning herself with Donald Trump, and as somebody said yesterday, trying to emulate whatever this man does, whatever craziness this man does. So she's looking for a problem. And whether the guy admitted to Nevis, one vote couldn't turn over that thing. Kamala Prasad is looking for a problem. He is the problem. And so Charles, the question you're asking, CARICOM has to speak. They have spoken already. They made their vote. That's it. All of this, Kamala is the problem. She's trying to emulate the Republicans and Donald Trump. But I hope she's watching and see what will be coming, what we're going to do to him. Anyway, so Charles, I suggest to you guys, is it possible y'all can get that thing where, how y'all had it on the other frequency, when people call and their phone goes into alignment and wait and hold and wait for
in a queue.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, y'all have a good
Yeah, thanks very much. At this point in time,
I just want to make one correction. I think under the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas, I can't remember what section, but I think under the revised treaty, the selection of the Secretary General, from my looking at it, has to be unanimous.
Unanimous, yes.
Yes, has to be unanimous.
By the members present for the vote.
By the members present. So you have. So I think one vote could change it, according to what the last caller said. It's just one vote. It wouldn't have changed anything. It would have, because if they said no, it means they would have had to select another candidate.
Yes.
But literally, and apparently figuratively and literally, if that was the intent of Trinidad, they missed the boat. So,
exactly.
So
conspiracy theory. So that's what I'm saying. If I have to go down Sir Charles Road, then they leave him there for spite, you know. And say he gets sick, you know.
The man never say he gets sick, you know. Dr. Gonzalez and saying the man gets sick.
Right. So that's what I'm saying.
Dr. Gonzalez never said the man got sick. Dr. Gonzalez said it was reported that he say he gets seasick, so he can't take the boat.
Language, boy, language.
He said it was reported that he said he gets seasick and he can't make the boat.
And it had to be a little dingy because it's a 5-minute boat ride, Dr. Ralph Gonzalez, you know. He says 5 minutes from the across the island. So it had to be a little dingy. It must be a little inflatable thing. I ain't going on that either. I agree with Sean.
No, it's better than, I doubt it'll be inflatable.
And then in rough waters.
You ain't going on that?
Yeah.
That man is the Caribbean Sea.
Oh my word. See now you're back. You remember what Richard you wanted to tell Richard?
You could swim.
Run, because that I had to make my contribution on the words I heard used by the Prime Minister here on that whole gas story with Venezuela. Well, Richard repeated some of the words this morning that he said that was out of place. But the entire contribution to me was out of place because when I heard it didn't come across to me that they were going to meet and discuss with Delcy and them, you know, in Venezuela. It sounded like they were going there on behalf of the U.S. government on what like it's Maduro's not Maduro, Trump, like it's President Trump setting the pace as to what has to be done. So that I got from I can't remember the exact words, but from the speech, it didn't sound like they were going to have any serious discussions with her. You know, they were going there to get what they have to get because of what the President of America said. Read the whole article again and you'll see word for word what our Prime Minister said. It didn't sound like they're going to discuss and to make barter with the LC. It's like they're going there on the behest of what the United States set down. So I said, when I heard the news and I heard her talking, I said to myself, wait, so it's just so it's going on behalf of what Donald Trump's telling them they have to do. So
it could be that.
It good at all.
You have a look at it again, Zena.
We watch the whole article and you will get the drift of what they're talking about. So this not sounding too good, you know. It's not sounding too good because she don't want to make it sound like you're going to talk to Delcy.
You ain't going to beg.
You know why? Because the amount of things that was said between them, one another, and all that the Prime Minister had to say, it can't be favorable. So we will wait and see and hope that things could work out and Trinidad could get according to the chef's
a pound of flesh.
Just share.
Okay, yes.
Thanks very much, Zena.
Right. Richard Carlisle Cupid is saying here that in the absence of a consensus, a 75% approval is relevant in the situation where there isn't consensus.
No, that's not true.
Okay.
At least my interpretation of it. That only holds true for abstentions.
Mm-hmm.
That the 75% would hold for abstention if there are abstentions there. So you don't have a unanimous vote.
Right. Okay.
But that's my interpretation. I could be wrong, so let me not say that he's wrong. But that's my understanding. That there is a no, it's not. No, it doesn't specifically say it has to be unanimous, but the way it's phrased, it seems that the unanimity is the intent in terms of the vote. But it seems almost as if Trinidad and Tobago is more aspirational than Puerto Rico to be the 51st state. That's how it comes across sometimes. Like we telling Puerto Rico, move aside.
But man, as long as when I land in the United States, I could be escorted into some very short line and I'm out of the airport in 5 minutes, I good.
You might be escorted to a very short line, but they're searching you. So don't call upon the universe, Don't call upon the universe.
A very short line.
You will get what you're looking for.
You might find no line at all.
I gave already the story of my wife way back in the day when she first changed her passport to my surname, and she was emotional in the airport, and the officers recognized it when we approached them, and they asked her to come on the side, and they carried her to a room and asked her if everything was all right, because they thought we had some issue. and they pulled her and asked her because they saw how emotional she was.
They thought it was a forced marriage, man.
Yes. They thought it was kidnapping a woman.
Say the words.
Yes.
They thought it was a forced marriage. She was trying to tell the immigration officer, get me out of this marriage with this man. I don't want to be in it.
I should have said that then. Gave myself all this trouble.
Guys, at the end of the day, we got to leave it at this point in time. I have the MSG coming up with their pre-recorded broadcasts. So,
all right,
this is where we gotta go.
Folks, have a wonderful day. Remember to let go and let God.
Yes, and of course, reminding you the theaters on this weekend. Scandal in Cedrus. So call outlets before you go there because some have run out of tickets. They should be replenished this morning, but check just in case. But of course, the ultimate best place to go is the box office, which I know many of you have been going to. So it's open from 12 noon to 6 p.m. at Sapa. So that's where you can get your tickets, but also at K Square Fashion, C3 Center and Brentwood Mall, and Friends of Marabella by the Roundabout. And of course, you can also purchase tickets online, which a lot of you did over the Easter weekend. We were astonished with the amount of people that bought tickets online over this Easter weekend. So you can get tickets online. You can go to RSRR Productions Theatre on our social media handles, and you can see the information of how to purchase tickets online. Have a fantastic day, whatever you do. Today is Thursday, so the weekend begins tonight, people. So put a smile on your face because tomorrow is Friday.
Richard, put together a little thing with Sean Sobers whining on a boat now.
Hey, no, I can't do that. I don't have the skill.
Take to gravel and see if I can get that. Look how gravel woman start to sell today. Hey!
I wish Sean Sobers do that if he had a sense of humor. I mean, I don't know if he does. That's what I would do.
Penny advertising for Pennywise.
As you see, say, watch me.
All right, guys.
Wine, Sean, wine. Oh, folks, this has been.
Well, we should mention that NETT.com continues at NETT Radio. NETRadio.com continues on the stream, and of course you can also listen to us on TuneIn at NETT Radio Trinidad. And so you can listen to us on your smart devices as you go about life, whether you're on a commute or whether you're at home, just enjoying the music and the talk. Have a fantastic day, whatever you do. We know you have a choice, and we're glad you chose us. Over to you, Wendell.
Miss Sampson told it. After getting through about 4 times yesterday, she didn't get through at all today. So she said, thanks for 3 hours of nothing. She said she holding on the phone since morning.
Some people call at the times when we
people talking these days, you know.
Yeah, but some people also call when they don't say call.
When you, let me tell you something, you see, when you hit over 70, it's very easy to tote. It have a thing on stamp on your back.
Yes, what is called people who's toties?
Hey, Lam, it's time for us to go.
But this has been the breakfast show.
Get up. It's the time to start the day. The breakfast show is here. We bring in the soca way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The breakfast show got the vibes turned on. From Morocco's Bay to the Savannah line. Let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Good vibes rolling through the air. The breakfast show and